Hello there, YouTube subscribers. Back in February, I purchased this guitar. It is a Schecter Hellraiser, but it is unlike regular Hellraisers. I'll get into that. First, I'm going to go over everything else. First up, body is made out of mahogany. Nice, solid body. The neck is made out of maple. It's all painted. I don't like that. I like it when there's like a V down here and it's a satin finish, and the back of the neck is, you actually see the wood. But with this, I usually take 1500 grit sandpaper and basically put a satin finish on it by getting rid of the gloss, the clear coat, and it makes the neck a lot faster. It's sort of like putting chalk on your hands, but without having to put chalk on your hands. As you see on the back, you got your bridge cover, your electronics, pots, potentiometers, pickup selector, and of course, EMG pickups. You of course have the 9-volt battery and its little pocket where it goes. Rosewood fretboard. Oh yeah, the neck joint is a set through, I believe. It's either a set through or just a set. The fingerboard is rosewood with abalone Gothic cross inlays that start at the 3rd fret, go all the way down. At the 12th, you lose the side little parts, but no big deal. Now, I did buy this used because I went into my local guitar store looking at a Charvel. And in looking at it the second time, I noticed they are made in China. I will never buy any musical gear from China. I'm sorry, but they can stick with the sitar. I love the sound of it, but when it comes to electric guitar, let's stay American. What else? Oh yeah, Grover tuners. It is crafted in South Korea. Let's see if we can get a good look at that. Close to their main company in Japan. Them and ESP are, I've heard they actually use the same assembly line, because it's funny that that headstock looks a lot like the headstock on my Horizon, except it has that little part that comes up. But that's an ESP. This is a Schecter Diamond Series, abalone binding around the headstock and the body, black binding on the fretboard and neck. I believe it came with 9 to 42s. I put 10 to 46s on it. Ernie ball, of course. Elixirs are just ridiculously expensive and really don't give you the tone that Ernie ball does, especially with the new ones that they're coming out with. Now, one thing very special about this is this one has EMG 81, TW, and the 89. 81, of course, being in the bridge position, right here, and the 89 being in the neck position. The amazing thing about these, I believe this is the first time EMG has done this, but as you see, I'm missing a knob. Okay, I take the tone knob out because I play mainly metal, hard rock, stuff like that. I take the tone knob completely out of the circuitry because it gives a cleaner tone, it's just one less thing in the circuitry for the electronics to go through and the output to go through. So it's just basically one less thing, and if you don't use it, get rid of it. It's so easy. It's 2 wires, usually. A ground and 3 wires. The ground and then the in and the out. Very easy to get rid of as long as you know how to solder. 3-way selector switch. I moved both my volume knobs down once I took the tone pot out. But the most interesting thing about this guitar is the humbuckers are coil splittable. Now, a quick review on basically what is happening when you pull those. This is a old Gibson PAF, very old, I believe. Basically, what is happening when you do a coil split is you have two single coils that are wound together and are put together opposite of each other, so you gain more output, more basically area for the strings, for the pickup to pick up the vibration of the string, and it's wired right here through this one little wire. That's how it's connected. Well, by coil splitting, you basically ground out one of the single coils, making it a single coil pickup. You can do this just by wiring a wire to this, putting it through the hole on the back. No, this isn't my PAF. Put it through the hole on the back, bring it down, follow this, and then you see that I just have a potentiometer. I don't have a coil splitting or tapping potentiometer, which has a big old block down at the bottom with 6 little things that you can solder wires onto. But basically that's all you're doing, is you are grounding out one of the pickups and shutting it off, and you have a single coil sound. Well, that's what we get with the Schecter. Not all EMG pickups do this. These are only special EMG pickups, so if you don't have 5 wires, don't even attempt it. EMGs usually have 3, white and a black and a red for the power. And usually they're solderless if you get the kit. Mine just come wired with EMGs because I love them. But now we're going to go looking at the actual sound that it actually gives me. I'm giving it over to my camera lady. Okay, starting off, as you see, this entire wire goes into this Randall RG13. It's a pedal, plus it has a 2-watt output for, it is actually an amplifier. 2 watts, but hey, if you want to take your amplifier anywhere you want to go and have the tones you set in on any amplifier you have, get this. Oh, she's a beauty. Because I started out with my Randall RT50. It is a all-tube head that used 12 AX7 preamp tubes and 2 6L6 power tubes. Let's see, everything's on. Okay, get my pick. Okay, we're going to start out with some clean, just to show you the sound of it. As you see, my sequence is I'm going from the guitar into the pedal, out of the pedal, into the amplifier. I do also have it set up, if I want. It is not set up that way because you can look at this light right here. It says I am actually bypassing the loop, but I am actually bypassing my preamps if I like, and just using this as my preamps and using the power section of my amplifier as the amplifier itself, and using this for my preamps. It has 1 clean channel and 2 dirty channels, plus a loop boost. It either bypasses the loop, which is this, the effects loop, or up to 20 decibels of boost. Okay, with the guitar itself, this is the sound. This is just a minor, E minor. humbucker. That's the clean sound. This is the dirty sound. It's pretty muddy because it's a neck pickup. It's 89. Remember that, EMG 89. Let's go to the coil tap. Back over to clean. Now remember this. Now it's tapped. You don't have the low end as much. You really get sort of that airy sound of the Stratocaster. Beautiful. That's clean. This is dirty. So, still pretty muddy, but under clean, and just add a little overdrive and it'll sound great. It's just, I have all mine set up for heavy distortion, so, yeah. Alright, now that was the neck pickup, the 89. Let's go to the 81 and see what it does. Now, this is the 81, as everybody knows it. Clean, dirty. But it gives you that. It actually, I've noticed, actually gives a little more crunch than a regular 81. Gives a little more low. Now, that's it that's the full humbucker. Let's tap it. Still sounds a lot like the same because of the EMG preamp, but let's go over to clean and tap it. But as you can tell, it's just like the neck pickup. It, of course, since you're only using one of the coils, it basically cuts the output in half, but the EMG preamp inside of the pickup makes up for that, so you don't get a lot of power loss, but you mainly lose the lows. That's pretty much what you lose. Because basically what's happening is with a humbucker, you're getting that much space. All that the pickup is picking up what these strings are doing from a wider angle. With the single coil, you're basically cutting it in half, so it's not picking up as much of the string's vibration. So that's why you get that sound, but that's the good sound. That's how you get it. But that's how this guitar comes. I don't even think I mentioned it comes. They advertised it with a Floyd Rose 1000 or special. Mine came with a original Floyd Rose. And the neck is set through. Very nice clean access to the output. I mean, it was built very well when I got it. Only thing was the action needed to be lower because seeing that I do play metal and I do play relatively fast, I had to straighten out the neck some and lower the Floyd Rose. A lot of people have problems with Floyd Roses and keeping them in tune. It's not hard. All you have to do is remember the springs on the back have to be at the same tension as the strings on the front. One of the easiest things I've found is make it level. Find something, make the Floyd Rose level with no strings on, and then find something to put up under it to hold it there. Tighten the springs in the back so it won't lift up. String it up, tune it, and then slowly loosen the springs until you notice that whatever you've put up under there is becoming a little loose. And then magically, your Floyd Rose is in tune, will stay in tune, and it is not in some weird angle. You are actually flat and parallel with the body surface. I do all my own work on my guitars, and I can completely do a dive bomb, strings completely, I mean you can see that the strings are completely out. And I go right back and it's still in tune. Floyd Roses are not bad. You just have to know what you're doing. But that pretty much sums it up about this guitar. I'm going to do a second video on this pedal because I got quite a few comments asking more about the third channel. The second and third channel are basically the same. The second just has a little less distortion. You can barely notice it, but it's there. The channel 3 is basically the Randall Warhead. But it's nice because the tube amp, of course, you're going to get tube overdrive sound. With this, I get the very well-known Randall solid state overdrive, just that searing crunch and distortion, but with tube tone because that's where my power is coming from, the 2606. And it's going through the clean preamp. So I'm actually using 2 preamps when I'm doing whatever I'm doing on the pedal because it goes into the clean section, and then but I can bypass all that via this port right here by going into the effects loop. But that's getting off subject. This is about this guitar. I've had it for about 5 months, 4 or 5 months now. No problems. Absolutely no problem. It's dirty, of course, but that happens. I mean, you're going to play it. It's going to collect dust. You got to clean it. No wiring problems, no cosmetic or build problems, except for I could tell the person who owned it before I did. It was he played a lot up on the upper part of the fretboard, and he took the crown off a lot of the frets, so I have to get that dressed. If not, just changed, because that's what I'm thinking, get it changed for some done little extra jumbos. But that is it for this guitar. I sincerely hope that y'all enjoyed this video, and there will be more.